Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Now let's study Unit 8. The title of this unit is The Amazing World Around Us. The Amazing World Around Us. I hope that you will enjoy studying this unit with me. When you decide to travel abroad, there are a lot of amazing places that you can visit. Every country has at least one of the landmarks that should be visited, especially our beloved country, Egypt. Now, let's have a look. In Egypt, we can visit number 1, the Pyramids of Giza. The Pyramids of Giza, or Giza Pyramids. Giza Pyramids. The Giza Pyramids and the Sphinx. The Giza Pyramids and the Sphinx. Number 2, the Red Pyramid. The Red Pyramid. Look at the images, dears. Look carefully. Number 3, you can also visit the Tahya Masr Bridge. The Tahya Masr Bridge. You can see its photo here. The Tahya Masr Bridge. And number 4, the Ismailiyya Tunnel. The Ismailiyya Tunnel. All these are famous landmarks in Egypt. Famous landmarks in Egypt that should be visited actually. While in Kuwait, which is a very famous Arab country, you can visit Al-Hamra Tower. Al-Hamra Tower. It is a very high tower, as you can see in the image. While in China, you can visit the Shanghai Tower. The Shanghai Tower. And as you know, Shanghai is a very important city in China. In Thailand, we can visit Bangkok. Bangkok. This city is very wide, crowded, modern, and noisy. Wide, crowded, modern, and noisy. In Brazil, we can visit its capital, Brasilia. Its capital, Brasilia. This city is old, wide, empty, and quiet. Old, wide, empty, and quiet. So, let's have a tour in our country, Egypt. In Egypt, we can visit number 1, the Tahya Masr Bridge. The Tahya Masr Bridge. Now it's time to know some information about the Tahya Masr Bridge. It is the world's widest suspension bridge. Do you know the meaning of suspension bridge? It is a bridge that is supported by strong steel ropes hung from a tower at each end of the bridge. So it is hung. The Tahya Masr Bridge was opened in Cairo in May 2019. It is 67.36 meters wide and 540 meters long. Actually, more than 4,000 people helped to build it. They started it in 2016. They finished it in 32 months. 32 months. The bridge crosses the Nile's Warraq Island. Warraq Island. More than 100,000 people live on the island. Many people enjoy walking across the bridge. It has a glass floor. It has a glass floor. So you can see the river under your feet. The best time to cross the bridge is at sunset. At sunset. Why? For a beautiful view of the city. To enjoy a beautiful view of the city. So it takes the preposition for a beautiful view of the city. Now let's move to Upper Egypt. In Upper Egypt, specifically in Luxor, we can visit number 1, the Luxor Temple. The Luxor Temple. Number 2, the Karnak Temple. The Karnak Temple. In Luxor also we can visit the Valley of the Kings. The Valley of the Kings. And the Habo Temple. The Habo Temple. Look at the images, dears. Look carefully and enjoy the beautiful places in our country. In addition, we have a great project actually, which is called the Grand Egyptian Museum. The Grand Egyptian Museum. Look at the images, dears. Look carefully. It is a very huge project actually. It is a very huge project actually. The Grand Egyptian Museum, GEM. The Grand Egyptian Museum, GEM, welcomed its first visitors in 2019. It is further from the city center than the old museum, the Egyptian Museum, but only 2 kilometers from the pyramids of Giza. Only 2 kilometers from the pyramids of Giza. It has a lot of valuable treasures. A lot of valuable treasures on display. On display. One of the most beautiful parts of the museum is the entrance. The entrance. With its big plants and statues. Plants and statues. The biggest is that of Ramses II. Ramses II, which is 12 meters high. 12 meters high. Every country has at least one of the landmarks that should be visited, especially our beloved country Egypt. Now, let's continue our tour in the other countries of the world. Let's continue our tour in the other countries of the world. In Saudi Arabia, we can visit Abraj al-Bayt, Abraj al-Bayt, and their clock tower, Abraj al-Bayt and their clock tower. Of course, it is Al-Bayt al-Haram, Al-Bayt al-Haram. In Russia, we can visit Lake Baikal. In Russia, we can visit Lake Baikal. Lake Baikal. You can see the lake in the photo. You can see the lake in the photo. Lake Baikal in Russia. In Mexico, we can visit the Pyramid of El Castillo. The Pyramid of El Castillo in Chichen Itza. So this is the name of the area in which this pyramid exists. While in Switzerland, we can visit the Gotthard Tunnel. The Gotthard Tunnel. In Switzerland, we can visit the Gotthard Tunnel. In Italy, we can visit the Leaning Tower of Pisa. The Leaning Tower of Pisa. The Leaning Tower of Pisa. Look at the photo, dears. Look carefully. It is a very, very old tower. Now let's discuss the different uses of the WH word how. How may be followed by another word. So let's see together. Number 1. We can ask about the tall or the height of something or someone by using how tall. How tall. How tall is Ali? How high is this building? How tall or how high? We can also ask about the width. How wide? How wide? So how wide is this room? We can also use how long? How long to ask about the length. So how long is this bridge? How long? How long? How long can also be used to ask about the time, duration of time. How long can also be used to ask about the duration of time. This time we want to ask about the age. So we can use how old. So how old is this man? Or how old is the Luxor temple? How old is the Luxor temple? How old is this man? Also, we can use how deep. How deep is this tunnel? How deep is this tunnel? Or how deep is this lake? How deep is this lake? How many must be followed by a plural countable noun. For example, how many pupils? How many students? Like our example, how many people live in Tokyo? How many people live in Tokyo? Here we are asking about the population of Tokyo, the population. After making a tour around the world, now it's time to ask about and express our opinions. Ask about and express our opinions. It's time to teach you, dears, how to ask about other people's opinions and how to express your own opinion politely. Actually, there are a lot of ways by which we can ask about opinion. For example, what is your opinion of? What is your opinion of? For example, what is your opinion of English? What is your opinion of English? I think English is a very interesting school subject. I think English is a very interesting school subject. Another way is, what do you think about? What do you think about? For example, what do you think about English? What do you think about English? I think English is a very difficult school subject. I think English is a very difficult school subject. A third way of asking about opinion is to use the WH word which. Which subject do you think is? Which color do you think is? Which movie do you think is? Which novel do you think is? And so on. For example, which subject do you think is easier? English or science? English or science? The answer, I think English is easier than science. I think English is easier than science. Would you give me another example? For example, which color do you think is better? Which color do you think is better? Blue or red? Blue or red? I think blue is better than red. I think blue is better than red. The fourth way of asking about opinion is using which also, but with long adjectives. For example, which subject do you think is more difficult, or more interesting, or more boring? So which subject do you think is more difficult, English or science? So I think science is more difficult than English. Actually, there are two final ways to ask about opinion. Two final ways to ask about opinion. Both ways contain using a yes/no question, either directly or indirectly. For example, method number 5, a direct yes/no question. Do you agree that? Do you agree that? For example, do you agree that sailing is more dangerous than mountain biking? Do you agree that sailing is more dangerous than mountain biking? I'm afraid. I'm afraid means I'm sorry. I disagree with you. I disagree with you. In my opinion, mountain biking is more dangerous than sailing. Mountain biking is more dangerous than sailing. The final way is to start stating your opinion in a regular statement, I think, then end your sentence with a question, a yes/no question. Do you? Do you here means do you agree with me? For example, I think that Luxor is the most beautiful city in Egypt. I think that Luxor is the most beautiful city in Egypt. Do you? Here are two answers. In my opinion, Luxor is the most beautiful of all. In my opinion, Luxor is the most beautiful of all. The second answer is, I agree. It is also the most ancient one. It is also the most ancient one. Now, dears, here are some general questions about opinion. Here are some general questions about opinion. Question number 1. What is the best book you can think of and why? What is the best book you can think of and why? In my opinion, it is Gulliver's Travels. It is Gulliver's Travels because it is very exciting. It is very exciting. Question number 2. What is the most famous building you can think of and why? What is the most famous building you can think of and why? In my opinion, it is the Luxor Temple. It is the Luxor Temple because it is very old and well known. Question number 3. What is the most exciting sport you can think of and why? What is the most exciting sport you can think of and why? In my opinion, it is zip lining. Zip lining because it is very dangerous and scary. It is very dangerous and scary. Number 4. What is the best TV show you can think of and why? What is the best TV show you can think of and why? In my opinion, it is Arabs Got Talent. Arabs Got Talent because it is very exciting. Number 5. What is the most interesting film or movie you can think of and why? What is the most interesting film or movie you can think of and why? In my opinion, it is Star Wars. Star Wars because it is very exciting and full of actions.
Dear students, this is the end of Unit 8. Wait for me in Unit 9 very soon, inshallah.